just going to show you the David Shaw mention because it was just nice to see Ryan Bridges kind of be like shut down because he's a fucking idiot and annoying as hell.
Yeah.
And this Trish Sherson, who was on a panel with Dave Littell. Was it Littell or Littell?
I'll be honest, I can't remember.
I think it was
every
Littell.
time. Yeah.
Someone corrected me. It was Littell, I believe.
Someone will tell us this time, hopefully.
They're both on the show with the Big Hero now with talking about the climate change policies and stuff like that. So this was a really nice moment where he was shut down because he is a dick. All right. I think that's probably all I need to say. You'll figure it out, guys. You'll figure it out.
To have you both here.
Also, looking hot. Just saying, it's a hot panel. A hot panel. Looking great.
So Letele.
Oh, so it is Letele. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Letele.
Yeah.
It was one of the two.
Now, this morning we've been having a discussion about climate change. Tris, I wanted to get your take on this because government's fiddled with it a little bit. Our ETS won't have to match up to our Paris promise. Does that matter? Did we even meet the promise we made in the first place?
Well, we're not meeting where we need to be under Paris, but let's put that aside. I think I've got a bouquet and a brickbat. The brickbat first, I'm worried about this as a move away from the bipartisanship that we have seen around the climate. I still think that James Shaw is one of the politicians of our generation in the Zero Carbon Act.
Politicians of our generation. Oh, yeah, buddy.
And he's a greenie.
And he's a greenie. So, there you go. And she talks a little bit more about how awesome he is because I miss James so much. I love Chloe, but I miss him so much.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
I remember back when he was passing it in 2019, was in a room full of business people and they stood and gave James Shaw an ovation because he had an ability to not only deliver very sound, complex policy, but to do it in a way that brought everyone with him. So that's my worry. I support the statements of the former commissioner you had on this morning who said that the worry is that checks and balances are being taken away and Lord knows, you know, we don't trust politicians even to sort of build a road or a bridge, let alone save us from an imminent disaster. On the brickbat side, you saw...
I don't know if it's part of this clip or it's afterwards, but she then talks about how basically politicians... There's a thing coming out on Netflix, I think, which talks about how... I think it's called The White House.
Oh, yeah.
I don't... The White House... I'm not sure. But basically it was talking about how politicians are really shit at long-term planning and looking ahead at long-term policies and long-term effects of things. Because obviously most politicians look in 3 or 4 year cycles and it's all about getting their wins in their 3 or 4 year cycles. Honestly, they could have just left this stuff in the background and no one would have cared and we would have been meeting our targets. Like, it's fucking dumb. But she also talks in this next bit, she also then talks about PPPs, which have their own issues, but PPPs that are popping off because in technological advances to meet their climate change obligations because farmers want it. So, yeah.
Or an example this week of the government giving more money to AgriZero, which is the public-private partnership that is doing work to commercialise tools for farmers to use to reduce their methane and nitrate emissions. That is real practical stuff that is going on. And I think the private sector is picking up and doing that because their customers demand it.
This is the thing that...
Because their customers demand it. So this whole narrative of farmers don't want they don't want to meet their methane emission targets, or they want a reversal of this climate change stuff. It's affecting our farming and stuff like that. I would say by and large that's a very small chunk of the agricultural sector. And I think there are definitely a hell of a lot more who are progressive because they're being directly affected by climate change.
Absolutely.
And like this whole thing of like that farmers are dumb and they don't know, and there are some who are maybe a little bit more of the older generations that are stuck in the days. But there are smart farmers coming through, and they are they're aware of what's going on, and they want to get on board with change.
Oh,
They have to.
absolutely. Well, and also
their
I
own
think
sakes.
one thing that we kind of, I think, forget to give credit to farmers is that they're directly experiencing the land and the changes that are going on around it. They are probably a lot more connected to nature than half of us, honestly. So there are a lot of them who, like you say, they're seeing this, they're seeing the real world effects in their farm, in the way that things are going around their farms. So there's definitely a group of obviously they've got the ones who are a little bit stuck in an older mindset, but like people who are in touch with with nature, they tend to be leaning more towards these things because we have to we live in balance with it. There's no other option.
Yep. And here's another pushback on Ryan, which is anti-climate change narrative he's trying to push. Come on, dude.
100% that it just doesn't matter to them.
I know, but are they related? Because the more you look after the environment, the less productive you are as an economy. There's a cost. There's a cost.
Well, I don't.
To say if we're going to be Mr. Climate Change, we can't be Mr. Growth too.
I don't think it's black and white like that, actually, and that's where I think the political debate goes off track. It is not one or the other, and actually, if we are looking after the environment,
I'm here to keep it off track.
Well, I know you are. I can see that this morning. You've been a little bit grumpy, but I think, especially in a country like New Zealand, the environment is everything to us as a country, and if we're doing right for the environment, we are doing right for people as well.
I'm not in it.
Simple message, right? Simple message. The part that I just clipped out there with from Dave was he was talking about he was just basically saying what we've been saying all along, is that just another thing that the government doesn't give a shit about. It doesn't give a shit about poor people. It doesn't give a shit about homeless people. It doesn't give a shit about a lot of things, and who's surprised? Which
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was it. I just wanted to show that we clip, just to, fill your souls a bit.
It was a nice change of pace from our main news so far. So.